Quick one, as you may have seen, the title, it has to do with the husband of the late prominent gospel singer Osinachi that was allegedly murdered by her husband. I don't think now it's alleged since the sentence has already been given, and that Peter Wuku, the husband of Osinachi, has been sentenced to death by hanging. This is very, very sad. The woman is already dead, and now it looks as if the man is about to also lose his own life. This has raised a lot of debate, so people are now beginning to feel some level of sympathy towards Peter, especially because of what happened in the Kuje prison. You remember the prison break where a lot of prisoners in Kuje were escaped, but Peter stayed in. Yeah, I mean, so the question would be that, a lot of men, you can imagine if every time a man is violent towards his wife or towards a lady and it leads to her death, a lot of men would have been sentenced to death, because some men, the only way they can, ease whatever is their trauma or their own pain or frustration, they use the physical power that they have, which is very, very bad. It should not have happened at all. This is my gut feeling that if Peter Wuku, the husband of the late singer Osinachi, had known that what he was doing would lead to his wife's death, I don't think he would have done it. He would have come back to his senses, but then he thought, just like some men believe that, they can keep, pounding on their wives and, showing their strength. And sometimes even some cultures kind of, they seem to allow this to go unchecked, such that a wife or a woman or even a daughter will be going and be complaining to her parents about the abuse she's going through. And instead of the parents coming in or even go report this matter to law enforcement, they just insist, you must go back to your husband. You're already married. You must respect him. Men are supposed to beat their wives, which is bad. That kind of culture is completely unethical, it's ungodly, and it's also unconstitutional. It's criminal. And so while I do not quite agree or support what Peter did, however, I think there are certain things we need to just revisit on this issue of the death sentence that has been meted to Peter, the husband of the late singer. It's sad Osinachi is not here. Her life was cut short because of this abuse that happened. But then there are people that are beginning to feel like, should the man be pardoned or should there be a reduced sentence? Possibly, maybe instead of let him also die. That means both parents are going to be dead. I mean, the Osinachi is already dead. And then if they go ahead and hang Peter, the children will have no parents. So who loses then? Or who gains? Osinachi is gone. Then Peter goes. The children will be left. And there are so many repercussions there. And I believe there will be so many adverse negative effects. While I know the law of the nation after, whatever is gone through with going through in the investigations and lawyers coming in, and they finally found out that Peter was guilty, and whether we call it direct homicide or culpable homicide and whatever it led, but it's murder. So now the wife is gone, and now going ahead to kill the husband, that will be 2 deaths. Now the children will be left as orphans. Some people are already looking at what many factors that will follow. It's not just Peter dying. Yes, he can die just like the wife has also died, so that other men that may have similar tendencies can learn from. However, there could still be ways that men will still learn. The way, we live in a nation that is so lawless. So, see what is happening with the kidnappings the Fulani headsmen, the Boko Haram, and the whole nation is not safe. So gender-based violence is not the only killer. Even since after the death of Osinachi, so many innocent Nigerians have lost their lives. And some of the people that have killed the people, now later on we hear they're repentant Boko Haram or they're repentant insurgents, and now they're even assimilated to the army or to the police. So, I mean, if we can do that for such people, why don't we give somebody like Peter a chance to see whether could such people change? Is it possible? And I know some people may feel very angry and say, Haruna, why are you talking about such things? Are you encouraging people murdering their wives? Are you encouraging gender-based violence? At all, I'll be the last to encourage that. All I'm doing is that I think we need to just rethink this. And I'm calling upon the president of the nation to reconsider, and I'm also calling on the people that have what it takes to relook this matter. Whether is it possible to, instead of killing Peter and the children are now turned out to be orphans, and then at the end it may have a very negative effect on the children, and we may not quite know it, but that could be the outcome. So maybe think about making him, either sentencing him life, reducing the death sentence to a life imprisonment where he serves his entire lifetime or certain number of years. I know some nations, they don't have death sentence, but in Nigeria, there's death sentence. So for example, just think about some of the effects, and this include emotional and psychological effect on the children, the feeling of guilt, anger, and resentment, where they'll feel like, what the father did against their mother was already traumatic on them. Then now, killing the husband, who happens to be their father, Peter, he's still their father, even though what he did was wrong. So it could lead to resentment in the children, bitterness, a feeling of hurt, and where they will feel like they want to also take the law to their hand, because sometimes a hurt person hurts others also. A person that is hurt, a person that's in pain, it feels like taking the pain on others. Who knows, if we don't handle this thing with wisdom, it could lead the children towards becoming also even more violent than their father, because they'll feel like, we've lost our parents, what are we doing here? So they could even get into crime and get involved in some criminal activities that will be left in shock when we see. So that's what I'm just feeling. So because the children, sometimes they have, the effect of this could even mean that they will be blaming themselves, that maybe we should have done something. Maybe we should have reported our father before our mother died. Maybe we should have done this. Then they start living with the feeling of guilt and self-blame. They're now blaming themselves. And then when somebody is living with the feeling of guilt, it could lead to other criminal activities, to them getting involved in other crimes. And so that's why it's very, very important. I am advising the government to relook this matter. People may have their own different opinion. I'm just sharing what I feel. I'm not encouraging such behaviors. And I'm not here to rubber stamp and say what Peter did was right. I was one of the people that felt very angry with what he did and felt he needed to be in jail and even rot in jail possibly. But look at it, there's another effect on the children, stigmatization. Society is going to stigmatize them when they call them orphans, and then they are now orphans. Oh, what happened to you? Because not everybody may know the story in future. But these are still innocent children. Then now they'll have to stand in defense. Okay, yeah, my mother was killed by my father. He used to beat him. And then later, then what happened to your father? Oh, they took him, put him behind bars. He was in jail. And then now they hung our father. And then he died hanging. Just imagine that picture. They're already living with the pain and the picture, the image of how their mother died. Then now they have to live again throughout their lifetime. What will they tell their own children? What will they tell their own children's children? So the question to them, I know people will say, okay, let other men learn, let other men learn. I want to ask you, all that we have done in Nigeria, expecting other people should learn, have they learned? Has corruption stopped? Has all these murders stopped? These kidnappings, have they stopped? Boko Haram, has it stopped? The Fulani herdsmen wiping entire communities, has it stopped? I think the nation, it's like some demons have been released in Nigeria where bloodshed is being seen as normal. People no longer care. So instead of losing more lives, let's look at how we can save. Have a law that allows women to speak up and not stigmatize them. A culture is also the reason why some women cannot speak up. They'll be under abusive relationship, but they must just bear it. They'll come out and smile like Osinachi was doing, come and sing. And even when people want to, go in between, there's a way culture has made them to say, don't spread your dirty leanings. Don't let people know what you're going through. Are you the only woman that is beaten by your husband? And so people live under such conditions unnecessarily. So my call is that, please, government, let's look at another way of dealing with this matter. Maybe the man can spend his entire life in prison. At least the children will get to visit. Then behind, in their subconscious mind, they know that our father is not dead like our mother, even though what he did was wrong. And the man can even maybe repent, have an encounter with God there. What he never thought the outcome would be the death of his wife. And I believe he's already living in regret now. So, and then apart from that, we will leave the children without parents, so where there'll be no adequate support. They have to be depending on uncles and aunties. And in the Nigeria of today, where there's a struggle for survival, the economy is not where it used to be. People are suffering. Everybody is struggling to survive alone. So then you come and add the Wuku's children, Osinachi's children, Peter's children. Then others must look after them. So it's already too much. The trauma is a lot. Let's think about the children going forward. I am just offering my advice. I am not saying anything here to support violence. And I'm not here to say we should start pardoning everybody, even when they kill people knowingly. But there are people that are murdering. Some of them are well known, but because they have what it takes to defend themselves, to protect themselves against being prosecuted, against being murdered, so they are living there as if everything is fine. So please, this is my call. Just think about the children, so that we don't, in trying to solve one problem, we don't create a bigger problem. So that these children, one day, don't turn out to be a liability to the nation, a liability to themselves, a liability to their family, and add up to the problem that we have. Because sometimes this is the effect. Let's not just think one way. Okay, the law says this is what we're going to do. Let's temper justice with, I know there should be justice, but let's temper it with mercy and understanding. This is my call. Maybe you have a different feeling about this. Maybe your opinion is different. Let's not fight. This is just Haruna thinking this. Don't start writing me funny things or telling me this Haruna is supporting this. He's supposed to only talk about politics and Peter Obi. I am not only talking about Peter Obi. My concern is having a Nigeria that works, where everybody can feel safe. And I know what Peter did was wrong, and every man should condemn such actions. And if you know any man that is abusive, let other men start to speak. Let's talk among ourselves and say, God gave us the strength not to use it against our wives, against our children, against our daughters. And no man has a right to do that, because I will not be happy if anybody abuses my own daughter like that. So this is my call. I'm calling on the government. Please reconsider the sentence on the current sentence that has to do with Peter, the husband of late gospel singer Osinachi, dying by hanging. Please reconsider it. This is my call. And if you feel the same, let's all put our voices together and give Peter another chance. Who knows? He may be somebody that could even come up with an NGO to start talking to other men and calling upon them and saying how the government was lenient to him, how the government came to his rescue and pardoned him. Who knows? A murderer, a well-known criminal murderer, can be a person that one day can be used to help other people not to do that. Is that not, if they can forgive the former Boko Haram that have murdered so many people, not just their wives, they've murdered so many. All these people that they have now called them repentant former terrorists, and they are now in the army. Who knows whether their own repentance is genuine? But see what Peter did. He did not escape when the others escaped from Kuje prison. That could be a sign. But even if it's not for the sake of Peter, let's think about the innocent children. This is my solemn, this is my humble plea and my humble call to the government to see. Please give Peter, the husband of Osinachi, another chance. Who knows? He may be one of the blessings that we'll have among men in Nigeria that will stop any of such barbaric, evil, heartless act of beating wives, abusing wives, that even possibly leading to death. Who knows? There may be so many women right now, as I speak, that are going through such. And I also call on every man out there, don't use your energy and your power to disadvantage or to abuse our ladies. They could be your mother, they could be your sister, they could be your daughters. So please, let's protect the women. God gave us the power to protect them, not to hurt, harm, or kill them. So please, government, do whatever you can do to either reduce the sentence of Peter or let him be pardoned. But then with conditions, then I believe other men will learn. A lot of men have even already learned from what has happened to Peter so far. I want to say thank you very much for watching. Please feel free to share this broadcast with as many people as you can. I remain your brother, Dr. Haruna Goro, always speaking about things that pertain to the change that we desire to see in Nigeria. I still believe a new Nigeria is possible, but it's not going to be possible without you and I playing our own part. God bless you. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Once again, this is Haruna Goro. Bye-bye for now.